Welcome to the Michele Roys Show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Michele Roys Show. Today, I'm delighted to have Donna Ambrose, all the way from Canada, Toronto, with us today to share a little bit about her journey and give you a lot of insights into traditional Chinese medicine. This is a very amazing topic, and you're most welcome to be on the show, Donna.
Thank you so much, Michelle. It's great to be here.
I'm delighted that you're taking a little bit of time. I know it's early morning for you over there, and that you're giving us a little bit of your time. And I wanted to start with the first question about how did you get involved with traditional Chinese medicine?
I know, huh? It seems so odd of all the medicines to be involved in traditional Chinese medicine. Well, I kind of always had this innate sense that the body can heal itself. It's a strange thing. I've always kind of known that. And I was always in sciences, always interested in the human body. I think when I was in grade 9, I fell in love with my biology teacher because he was just so good. And just a plug for teachers. Like a good teacher matters.
Absolutely.
It sets a trajectory for a student's lives. You just never know. And so he was so good. I'm like, yeah, I want to do this forever, but I don't want to be a biology teacher. And so I knew it was something with the human body. And then I started a traditional path and going through all my sciences, my undergrad, and so on and so forth. And then at one point, I realized that I saw it in the hospital when I saw people that I knew they would be on one medication and then they would be on another medication to undo the side effects of that medication. You kind of start with one and then it spirals from there. You know how that story goes. And I thought one day it just really occurred to me, I'm saying, I'm sure there's another way to heal the body. I'm sure there is. And so I started that quest. And I found a lot of traditional medicine, a lot of yeah, traditional medicines would be the right word. And I started researching them and I realized I fell in love with Chinese medicine because it didn't put anything in the body. It
Mm.
didn't put anything in the body. It just allowed it to regulate itself with energy. And I thought, what? And I didn't know that you can go and study this somewhere. I just thought, oh, okay, well, that's good. So then what? And that's how the journey began.
Wow. Can you take us back when you first arrived in China? And how did you find that? Because you decided to pursue it the proper way, right? To go and get training there
Well,
as well.
I started off this quest actually in with a mentor in the US. And
Okay.
then I came back to Canada, did my formal studies, and I was at a school where it was really good. They were doing a pioneer program where they were bringing the practitioners from China, the way that I had been taught there, and they were doing that here in Toronto. And it was really good. We had great academics with that and didn't have the practical side wasn't so much. And so I kind of had to move around until I found a school that was well versed in clinical when it comes to Chinese medicine because it wasn't that thing. This is like 24 years something ago now, right? And and through one of our teachers, different teachers will talk about the programs back in China and the programs back in China, the programs back in China. I thought, well, gotta experience one of these programs back in China. And so I did eventually. I had already graduated by then. I had already been practicing, and then eventually I went over there so I can do some practical stuff at the hospital. And that was so mind-blowing, just so different from the way that we do things and just culturally as well. And it was an amazing, amazing experience. Yeah. Would never trade it. I'll do it again. Yeah.
That's very good. I think one thing that really stands out to me right now is hearing how curious you were about traditional medicine and making it a part of you, finding roots that it could help you in your quest of finding answers, right? For different things that were going on. Did you have something going on in your own personal health that made you like even more determined to pursue this way?
It's an interesting question. It's good. It's interesting that you asked me that. No one has. And yeah, the answer is yes. I had always had back pain. Actually, I was going through some archives just the other day. I was packing, moving, decluttering like we do all the time, constant declutter. And I found several postcards, series of cards, and it was my friends from university. And it literally stopped me in my track because every postcard that I was reading, it said, "Oh, so I hope you're feeling better with your pain. Feeling with your pain. Hope you're feeling better with your pain." I thought, my gosh, like that's what they know me as. And it was really like, what? It's been so long ago that I didn't remember that I lived in constant pain. And so I was in Montreal where I grew up, and then when I moved to Toronto, the first thing that I did, why did I do that? I think
Mm.
it's because I had had a car accident and I started going around, exacerbated the pain, started going around looking, at the time, looking for all the different alternative things. And I always was of the mindset I didn't want to be on meds.
Yeah.
And so I found a acupuncturist from China. She spoke like what we call Chinglish. Like, because my teachers always say, Donna, how is my Chinglish, right? So I was like, so she spoke just enough Chinese, just enough English so that we can have a conversation. But oh my goodness, Michelle, she was like, she liberated me. I remember the first day coming down the stair. She was on, it was on a main corridor, like a main artery. It was super busy in Toronto, like downtown Toronto. And I came down the stairs and I walking along, it was busy. And I was like hopping along. I was like springing in my steps. And I always remember that. It felt so good. I'm like, the body can feel like this.
Wow.
And so that was many years before. And I think, you know how things get planted in your subconscious?
Mm.
I think that was just there so that it biased me, I believe, not knowing, very unconsciously, so that when I started looking years later for a traditional medicine, that I naturally went into Chinese medicine because it just made me feel so good. And I
Wow.
hadn't known it when I was doing the journey, and I didn't realize that I had pain. You know how you look forward and then connect the
Mm.
dots, or look
Yeah.
backwards, connect the dots? Yeah. So it wasn't until I found those postcards and I realized, oh gosh, pain was the driving force.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah. To find answers, absolutely.
Yeah.
For someone that's listening right now and I have no idea what Chinese traditional Chinese medicine is, can you explain to them what it is in, yeah, as succinct as possible? I know it's a
Yeah,
lot.
in one sentence. Well, we often think of Chinese medicine here in the West as acupuncture.
Yeah.
And of course it is, yes. But it's a whole gamut. It's
Mm.
a whole medicine. What I liked about Chinese medicine, what Chinese medicine is, it takes the whole body
Mm.
as one. It doesn't separate, right? So, like for example, we'd know like we'd have different specialists here. We can, you have the psychologist or the psychiatrist, and then you'll have the cardiologist, and we'd have all these different specialists. In Chinese medicine, the body is a whole. It's
Mm.
one. And so then when it's out of sync, it's meant to be obviously synchronized and working in the way that our body should work. And when it doesn't work that way, we go along and we try to see what's going on. It should be a whole, they should all be functioning. And so therefore, we can bring it back into alignment. And we use acupuncture, which is one modalities, and we can use food therapy, and that's a whole nother conversation altogether. That's working with energy, right? All of Chinese medicine work with the energetics, we can call it. So there's the energetics of the food, there's the energetics of acupuncture, and then there's the energetics of movement, right? Tai Chi or Qigong, and lifestyle changes. And so if I had to find one word, it would be aligning your energy.
Mm.
Yeah,
Wow.
emotionally, spiritually, nutritionally, and otherwise.
Yeah. And that's really all of it, right? If you think about we're surrounded by energy, everything is energy. And if we're able to center ourselves and connecting with ourselves, and I think why I appreciate traditional medicine so much is that they see you as a holistic way. And we are power. We are even across the countries and the worlds apart, we're still connected,
Mhm.
which I
Yeah,
think not
yeah.
only energetically, we're just connected, which is absolutely amazing.
And then my favorite quote has become over the years by Albert Einstein. It's controversial whether or not he started the quote or not, but it doesn't matter. So he's well known for it. So energy is everything, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It is.
Yeah.
And it's trying to keep ourselves up there, right? Keep our
Oh, yeah.
energies
Mhm.
flowing. And
And I
do you?
noticed the difference. We noticed a difference in our body. And
Mm,
you could tell if someone's walking across the street, walking across the stage, walking towards you, energetically, we can tell if we're intuitive enough. Actually, I don't even think you have to be intuitive. You just have to be observant, really.
yeah.
And you see energetically if that person is full of life or if they're not. One of the main diagnostic tools for Chinese medicine is observation.
Mm.
Interesting. So when your client present themselves to you, what are you observing about them energetically? Are they, that they're going to show up like this and just talk like this? Obviously, they don't have a lot of energy. Well, yeah, they're listless. Well, maybe something's going on, or they're in pain, or they're like really boisterous and super annoying and like really like this and like, okay, well, what are they hiding, or what is like overacting in their body, or like, are you showing up with normal energy? We see it all the time.
Yeah.
And so we just don't observe it as much as we maybe ought to.
Yeah. And what can you explain about the meridians?
Ah, the Meridians, Meridians. It's funny when we were studying Chinese medicine, the group of my friends and I every day we'd laugh about it because when we'd go to the we were working on cadavers,
Hmm.
so we'd learn about meridians in the classroom, and then we'd go to the lab and we work on cadavers, and then we're like, wait a lot, wait. There are no lines in the body. What are you talking about? I mean, we know there are no lines in the body, but somehow they convince us in class that there are these lines in the body. Then we go and we work on, dead people and cadavers, and we're like,
Yeah.
there are no lines in the body. Are they messing with our brain? You know. And so these are the energetic lines, and I'll do a demo for you if that's okay.
Awesome.
And so yeah, I've got my little man here. I love my man. He's been with me everywhere. I've traveled extensively with him. And I don't know if you can see, can you see that there's some lines?
There's some lines on him,
They're,
yes.
they're numbered and stuff for our purposes here
Mm.
in the West, but these are just this meridian pathways. Well, this side there isn't. It's just showing you the internal, the musculature. But
Yeah.
they're lines that run through the body, energetic lines.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're 12 of them. We said there are 12 meridians, and through these pathways, and there are extraordinary vessels and so on. But they're 12 meridians, and
Mm.
the energy just courses through them through your body. And so, I mean, it's fascinating. So you can come with a headache, and
Mm.
if that line, goes through, let's say the due meridian, we'll call it, it goes through the back of the body, runs the whole course. And I might treat you in your feet or along that pathway where that energy line flows. It doesn't have to be that I'm treating, if you have a headache, that I'm treating you in your head. The
Mm.
meridians allow me to, like, there's the stomach meridian goes through the stomach, but it also curses and starts down at the feet. And it's just fascinating to know that there are pathways in the bodies, and if we work on them,
Mm.
that it can help with that symptom and that
Yeah.
problem, that issue.
And
And
a lot
so
of it's
that's how we
releasing,
make our
right?
diagnosis. Say that again.
A lot of it's releasing.
Very releasing.
Releasing. Yeah.
Very releasing. Part of there's a course that you take in advanced acupuncture, and it's really teaching you how to release on both ends. And so almost you think of it as a water flowing.
Mm.
Right. And then we're meant to be, if you have the tap and the water is flowing, that's your energy pathway, and that is your, if you want to use the analogy, is a meridian. And so there are times when the tap might just, if you put the tap on just a little bit, the water is just trickling, it's not flowing the way that it should be flowing. When it's flowing, you're pain-free and you have great
Mm.
movement within your body and within your life, so to speak. And there are things that interrupt that. It could be we can think for visual, we can think of just trauma, of a
Mm.
physical trauma just interrupts that, right?
Yeah.
Line. And so in that case, when you turn the tap on, it'll just trickle. The water is just barely coming out. And so we as practitioners would be able to know how to turn that, like how to open up that tap so the water keeps flowing, so the energy keeps flowing through that meridian pathway, i.e. through your body, and that you feel good. And so you take this course and it teaches you what are the master points on that meridian, and how do you combine it with another meridian, and how do you open it up? And so
Mm.
basically, we call it manipulation. And so you can manipulate the energy and
Mm.
allow the tap to open. So oftentimes, that's how we explain to a client, you need more than one session. You
Yes.
need more than maybe two sessions. Maybe you need a course of treatment so that we can open up that tap and let the water run. Let the water
They-
flow like really freely. I don't know. Is that a good visual? Did you
Yeah,
did you
actually
yeah. So
really helps.
when you open the tap, it just flows. So we use the different points in the different meridian system to open up and to manipulate it so that the water can really, really, really flow nicely.
Yeah, I think that's so amazing. One question I have for you, Donna, with regards to people that live with chronic pain and invisible illness, right? A lot of time they become very depressed because it can be very debilitating what they're going through. And the reason why I'm having podcasts and talking about different modalities is that they can include different ways of helping their bodies to heal again. When someone comes to you in your clinic and they're facing a lot of pain, what are one of the first things that you help them to do or see?
When I first started, you're just so eager. When I first started out this journey, and I was just like, you go back to your book, you go back to your memory, and you treat them for pain, and you try to get rid of the pain. And as time goes on, I realized that I had this one lady one time. She came into the clinic. She was been in her late 70s, I think 79, because I remember celebrating her 80th birthday with her, and she looked like she was 99.
Oh, wow.
you
Mm.
know. And so oftentimes when they come into the clinic, I'm sort of there as sort of clinic director, and I would say which practitioner will get them based on like the observation, and then I'd look at the notes and stuff like that. And then I realized, I said, no, I'll take that patient. Like I'll take the patient. I wanted to specifically work with her. And in working with her, I realized I had to do something different because I saw from we were talking at the beginning about
Mm.
your energy and that you could notice it. And she came in and I knew that she was like in extreme pain. And I knew that she was a 90 something. It just like the pain just aged her and took its toll on her. So I wanted to work with her. And just intuitively, I would sit there and I would just listen to her really attentively and not think, because oftentimes when you're listening to a patient, you're thinking of a protocol. How
Mm.
am I going, what protocol am I going to use? How am I going to strategize? And I thought, no, I'm going to do something different. And I just listened and I realized that her issue was just emotional.
Mm.
Not just, but emotion was a big component, and she was in such pain that I needed to re-strategize. And so I just treated her emotionally. There's an emotional protocol as well, right? Where you releasing the pain from the heart and the trapped that's trapped in your muscles and trapped in your body, but it's really coming from this pain in your heart and burden. And I chose to treat her like that. And it was a miracle. I saw this, like, she was 80, and for her 80th birthday, she went bungee jumping.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, she
Talk
was
about
so
energy.
like she looked like she came in looking like she was in her 90s or something. By then she looked like she was late 60s, early like she started
Wow.
looking her age. It was like transformational. And from then I realized that, listen more, observe more.
Mm.
And when it comes to pain, it's not just like I'm in pain. And then I start thinking back of myself. And I realized, no, there is some kind of trauma that's going on, emotional or otherwise. In my case, it was emotional, but it was also physical as well. I'd had a car accident, but different stages of my life. But yeah. And then I decided that I wanted to start working on people's emotional well-being as well. And
Mm.
that helps so much in terms of speeding up the healing process. Yeah, I could use the word healing. Yeah.
Yeah. And is
Yeah.
that where you came about with the idea of making the journal for the Reignite Your Health?
Yes, yes, in a sense. I said in a sense because I thought maybe people should start being accountable,
Mm.
right? And if you have something and you're writing it down, engages the brain differently instead of having just a random piece of paper. Like, so I had my journal and I called it Reignite My Health. And then I thought, no, when someone picks it up, it should say Reignite. No, at first it says Reignite Your Health.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, I changed the cover and I said, no, it should be Reignite My Health. Like when they see,
Mm.
like, and it's just a matter of being, accountable. Every day you say the things that you are going to do to reignite your health. Like, the
Mm.
first section is how am I going to nourish my body?
Mm.
Because we need good nutrition when we're in
Yes.
pain or otherwise. Doesn't have to be
Yes.
in pain. We just need good nutrition. And then it says, how am I going to feed my mind? We need to
Mm.
feed our mind with good stuff, not crap, and then expect to feel good. And then it says, how am I going to soar, make my spirit soar, right? It's not that, you can't really see that, but literally. And so in each section, there's these things that you just check off, literally. You just check it off. So for example, in nourishing my body, it says, well, did I drink my water today? It tells you how much water you should drink. Did I have a home cooked meal? Or did I move my body? And in feeding my mind, it says, did I read today? Like, did I read something uplifting? And
Mm.
did I take deep breaths? And did I journal? journal that I write. And in Soar, my spirit Soar, it says, did I stay still today? Because sometimes we don't think of stillness as really nourishing our spirit, but it is. It says, did I pray? Did I meditate? Did I connect with loved ones? That's so great for your spirit to connect with people, right? And it says, did I go out in fresh air today? And so it forces you to although you think about it, but it forces you now to actually do it. And then there's space for you to write, of course, and journal so that you can be conscientious about how you're taking care of yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Like
part
purposeful.
exactly when you're saying about accountability, it's so important, one, for us to be aware of the things that are happening in our own lives, and then
Mhm.
following through a little plan because it's easy to just like kind of let go. I know that in the beginning of my journey with chronic pain, and it was just like it's just too much. You feel overwhelmed and everything you feel like it's coming against you. But then you take away that power that you have yourself. Because if you can do the small little things, it stacks up. And those small little things build up, build up, build up, and then it makes you feel better. And I was saying about making my bed in the morning, getting
Mhm.
dressed in the morning, taking time to eat properly, eat like exactly what you're saying, drinking cup of water. Have you had the nourishment that your body need? Have you stopped and looked outside? All those are super small steps, but they compound, right? And they help us get better in this
You're
process.
so right. It's a compounding effect. And how has that helped you? How have you noticed that it's helped you?
Oh, I mean, look, I'm literally, I wrote a book and I'm doing a podcast. Like, you wouldn't see this 5 years ago.
Right.
It has helped tremendously to be able to look at the positive things that I'm able to get to do instead of the things that I can't do or limitations that my body at the moment is experiencing. But it's reframing my mind and making sure that I can do these different things. I am here. And I love talking to people. I'm so grateful to have you on this call. Like, it's so cool that we're so far away yet so close, together and
Yeah.
be able to share a message. And I know that it can inspire someone else to take ownership of their own journey and their own health and feel better. Because in the end of the day, this is exactly what I want to be able to provide people value for what they're going through and experience and find that they are important, that they're not just disqualified because they are unhealthy or with an illness or something that completely taken their life. They say what they planned their life to be, but being able to reframe that and say, you know what, there's a reason for all of these things, and how can I help my body the best I can? What are the different modalities out there that I can try? Because for me, it was trying. I tried so many different things, and I started seeing what helped me and how can I manage my pain better. And that's how it continues. So, yeah.
Awesome. I love that you said ownership.
Mm.
Yeah, I love that you use that word. Yeah, it's really taking ownership, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I guess maybe just accepting as well. Just this, it is what it is, and this is where I'm at, and I own it, and that
Mhm.
changes everything. And what can I do as opposed to looking externally or for someone else to take care of us in that way, right?
Yeah,
Because I
exactly.
can do my little bit every day to take care of me. Like I can have a bubble bath, and I can sit in
Mm.
the sauna, and if I don't have one, I can go in the sun. And if I don't have one, I can just eat food that's moving, or just really researching, understanding you and your body.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And starting small, because sometimes we feel like we have to just tackle that whole mountain, but just can we
mountain.
just start walking right now towards it, just one step at a time. I was talking to a friend recently and she felt that she had to, why can't I do the exercise I used to do? Why can't I do what I used to do before? And I had to say, look, we have to give grace to ourselves to see where we are right now and allow our bodies to take the time it needs to get back to it. Perhaps it's not going to be the hikes that you used to do before, which is for me, I can't at the moment do those hikes, but I can enjoy a small stroll outside with my dog. So
Mhm.
it's in smaller steps, let's say.
So I'm hearing you say gratitude.
Mm,
Just be grateful for everything, grateful for waking up, grateful. It's like,
absolutely.
thank you, Lord, you woke me up today, kind of thing. And thank you. I can't
Absolutely.
go hiking, but I can go walking. Just being grateful and thankful every
Yeah.
step of the way. That's what I'm hearing you say. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the
Yeah,
energy, isn't it?
that's transformed my life, and energetically as well. It's a different form of energy, and it's
Mm,
really very healing. While we're
yeah.
talking about energy, to be in this state of gratitude, right? Because suddenly your mind's like you start seeing everything to be thankful for. Oh my goodness, I needed a highlighter the other day, and it's like, it works. Thank you. It's just, but you do once you start it, you get into this state of like being grateful for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it helps you deal with everything, anything and everything that comes your way, right? If we just reframe it and have gratitude. And for me, like for yourself as well, trusting that God has a perfect plan and that everything will work out together for my good. In the end of the day, I think it really helps me to keep my focus on and just, we can do this,
Yeah.
believe in that.
For sure. And sometimes it's okay to not understand the plan.
Mm, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I cry out to God. I'm like, listen, you forgot to include me on this plan about me. It's like, what's going on? It's okay to question, but I like that you said grace. I've learned that over the last maybe 5 or so years to just really have more grace with myself. It makes such a world of difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we often have grace with other people more
Mm,
than we do ourselves, We're forgiving of someone and it's okay, and we soothe them
mm,
and forgive them and extend them grace, and we don't do it to ourselves. Every day I extend grace to me.
yeah. I love your self-talk with yourself, by the way, as well.
Oh yeah.
We were talking about that. But yeah, it is part of extending grace to yourself. When you're encouraging yourself and you're motivating yourself and you're helping yourself, there was an elderly lady that I met and she had this plaque. I don't know exactly how it says, but sometimes you see me talking to myself because I need expert advice or something like that. I loved
Oh, that's a good
it.
one. That's a good one.
Yeah, so there's the expert advice there as well. Oh, goodness.
Yeah. It's
But
funny. We just have to do what we have to do, right? As individuals.
abs yeah. Yeah, and I think this is it. The journey of life is all about us trying new things. It's all about us finding where our purpose is and also then applying it, right? We all have a different path. We can't be trying to see somebody else and trying to follow exactly what they're doing because that's not necessarily their path. It's not our path. And I've come to understand that a lot more, that it's easy to feel, oh, I should be doing this, I should be doing, I should. But no,
Mm-hmm.
what is the best thing for me at this time in my life and where I am and where God wants me to go. And then adjust, course correct as it goes, in between
Yeah. I
in
think
between
yeah,
moments.
that's a great point, isn't it? We have more ease if we're authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah, just be who we are. Yeah, it's a great reframing.
Yeah, that's just one way of looking at it for sure, for sure.
Mhm.
And so what is it for you? I know you're already award-winning functional clinic in Toronto, Canada. You have a lot of work to do. What's your next big step?
My next big step. Well, I had paused from being a clinic owner operator for a while. Life happened. I was
Yeah.
lifing, and I've just started back up that process again.
Okay.
And it kind of happened just realizing I was working with some other clinics and helping them get their feet on the ground and so on. And then I realized, oh my gosh, like I love this.
Mm,
And so I love this and I'm good at this. And so therefore you can do this again,
yeah.
because sometimes we just think we give up.
Mm,
And so I decided to start up clinics again. And one of my goals is, yeah, just have as many clinics and bring healing to people in a different way.
mm,
So just having clinics. Of course, I've started my own personal journey, but it's for the extension of my clients of really getting a good understanding of how trauma affects the body.
mm.
And so I've just signed up for a course on that. And I'm thinking, really, school again? But I just love learning. I'm one of those people, I don't know, have you met them? It's like
Oh, I'm one.
they're always taking something. It's just like
Oh gosh.
every penny spent on a course or something, like I'm
Yeah.
just one of those. It's just brilliant. It's so amazing to just keep learning.
Yes.
For me, being like an everlasting student and learning. So the new just new path and trajectory that I'm on is really understanding how trauma affects our health.
Yeah.
And obviously not just only how it affects our health. So then what? What do we do about it?
Yeah.
And how do we overcome that? And um, because the more that I work with people, I'm realizing there's a lot of emotional baggages that
Yeah.
is preventing them from healing. Let's have them stuck, for lack of a better word, right? Could be in their
Yes.
body as well, could be trapped in their musculature and in their body, and it exhibit itself as pain, or it be internal pain in their heart, and so therefore they don't open up and they're unforgiving and then they're not nice, and really they're nice people, but there's just too much trauma and too much pain there. And so that's a new path that I'm on, as well as the clinics. We want to be able to serve people in a different way. I want my clinic to be different other than just coming in. It's called All One for a reason. You should be
Yeah.
able to find all that you need there in this one place.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Donna, I'm so, so grateful to have you here today. Thank you so much for taking our time. I know our time is short,
I can't,
but it was,
I can't believe the time just goes like this.
I
Excuse
know,
me.
but we'll definitely have you back again and you'll be able to explain us a lot more about the next part of the journey there because I think it's such a rounded way of looking at the person in each individual so that we can actually find deeper healing and listen, continue shining your light because you're amazing, amazing. How can people get in touch with you?
Actually, probably the fastest way is on social at the moment. On Facebook, it's Donna Ambrose. Actually, and then my website, of course, aloneclinic.ca.
Perfect.
Yeah,
I'll have that
yeah,
on the show notes as well. May
for
God
sure.
bless and keep you and continue helping you in everything you do. You're doing an amazing work, and I love your light. I love your smile. I love you just being you because you're amazing, Donna. Thank
I
you so
love you.
much
I
for
love
this.
the fact that you don't give up and that you're seeking. Is that makes like as
Yeah.
a not even
Yeah,
as a word, as a way of being. Like you're a
absolutely.
seeker. I see you as a seeker, and I just love that tenacity about you. I just
Thank
love
you.
it. So thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And until next week,
My
everyone, please get
pleasure.
in touch with Donna, and I'll put it all in the show notes so you will be able to follow her and her journey. And if you have any questions as well, let her know. She will be more than happy to help you. God bless and keep you. And until next time.
This was the Michele Roys Show.